Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you for joining us on Velayat News. I'm Abru Sabzwari, and now I'll look at the headlines for today. Obama wins key backing for Syria strike. Nearly 70 people killed in bombs and shootings across Iraq. Egypt's president says country's roadmap on track. Malala opens Europe's largest public library. Japan pledges over $470 million to remedy Fukushima nuclear crisis. Lebanon introduces a smartphone warning app as Syria war at risk of crossing borders. Shia Muslims targeted in ongoing genocide in Pakistan. And now, the news in detail. President Barack Obama has won backing from key U.S. political figures John Boehner and Eric Cantor on his plans for a military strike on Syria. Mr. Obama said a limited strike was needed to degrade President Bashar al-Assad's capabilities in response to an alleged chemical weapons attack. Obama said that President Assad had to be held accountable for the chemical attack and that he was confident Congress would back him. Secretary of State John Kerry said there would be no American boots on the ground in Syria and that President Obama was not asking America to go to war.
The United States, for our entire history.
President Obama, however, still faces a tough task winning the support of the American people. The latest national opinion poll shows public opposition to any involvement in the Syrian conflict is growing, with 6 out of 10 Americans against missile strikes and lawmakers also divided. UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon had earlier said the organization's charter permitted military action only in self-defense or with the agreement of the Security Council. Mr. Ban said a U.S. military response could create more turmoil, but that if chemical weapons had been used in Syria, then the Security Council should unite and take action against what would be an outrageous war crime. The Syrian government denies any involvement and blames rebels for the attack. Nearly 70 people have been killed in yet another bloody day in Iraq as a fresh wave of bomb explosions and shooting incidents hit the country. A series of car bomb blasts ripped through Shia neighborhoods in the Iraqi capital Baghdad during the evening rush hour on Tuesday. At least 34 people have been killed and dozens others wounded in the explosions. Earlier in the day, 2 car bombs detonated on the southern outskirts of Baghdad, killing 7 people. Elsewhere, a cleric was shot dead in a breakout of violence reported from the southern city of Basra. Iraq has experienced a surge in violence in recent months. A new UN report says more than 5,000 people have been killed in the violence racked so far this year. Egypt's interim president Adli Mansour said a plan for a return to civilian government after the army's removal of President Mohamed Morsi was on track despite challenges and that emergency law should be lifted soon. The interim government has launched a furious crackdown on Morsi's Muslim Brotherhood since toppling Egypt's first freely elected president on July 3rd. Following huge protests, it has accused the group of terrorism, sent its top leaders to trial on charges of inciting violence, of murder, and killed hundreds, demanding his reinstatement. Mansour said his decision to announce emergency law that day had not been easy, but terrorism and the vicious war that was being waged by some of the extremists made it crucial. Although the army-backed interim government has begun to revive the political security apparatus after the 2011 revolt that overthrew Hosni Mubarak, Mansour said there would be no return to the days of political police. Malala Yousafzai, the teenage Pakistani girl who was shot by the Taliban last year, formally opened Europe's largest public library in Birmingham on Tuesday. Yousafzai was targeted for killing by the Taliban in October last year because of her campaign against the group's efforts to deny women education. Yousafzai was flown to a hospital in Britain's second largest city for treatment following the attack and has since enrolled in a local school.
It is a great honor for me to be here in Birmingham.
The £188 million building contains about 1 million books, access to a vast film and television archive belonging to the British Film Institute, and is the new home of what is the second largest repository of Shakespeare's works in the world. In her speech, Yousafzai stressed the importance of widening access to education around the world and stated that education can change the world. Japan is to spend $473 million to contain leaks of radioactive water from the disaster-struck Fukushima nuclear plant as the government struggles to tackle the nuclear crisis. The government is to spend tens of billions of yen to deal with the water crisis after the operator of the plant, Tokyo Electric Power Co., TEPCO, stated it discovered another radiation center. A package of new measures on how to deal with the ongoing crisis at the Fukushima plant, which was besieged by a massive earthquake and tsunami in March 2011, were set to be announced on Tuesday. The total amount pledged is set at 47 billion yen. Japan's government faces criticism over how TEPCO dealt with the crisis as it awaits Saturday's decision by the International Olympic Committee on Tokyo's bid to host the 2020 Summer Olympics. The Lebanese military, as well as individual entrepreneurs, have created smartphone apps aimed at warning their citizens of military action. This is against a backdrop of the Syrian conflict potentially crossing borders into neighboring states. One of the new apps is designed to inform people of gunfights, to suggest routes around roadblocks using crowdsourced data. The Lebanese army is keeping up with the individual entrepreneurs, announcing the development of its own Lebanese Armed Forces Shield application for iOS and Android. The application gives data on suspicious objects, vehicles, and violence in the area. Lebanese citizens will also have the chance to communicate directly with army personnel in case of kidnap or forced confinement. LAF Shield allows people to take photographs, record videos, or send messages linked to their security. It also allows them to identify dangerous sites, such as places where security incidents happened, through an interactive site. Since its launch, the application, called Mahtua, has been downloaded by more than 80,000 users. Shia genocide continues in Pakistan as several incidents of Shia killing took place nationwide. A Shia shopkeeper was martyred in a targeted attack at his shop in Mangalpir area district west of Karachi on Monday night. The martyr Muhammad Zaman from Mughal Hazara Gort was laid to rest Tuesday morning. On Tuesday, Spy Sahaba terrorists shot and martyred a Shia businessman at his shop in Gulshan-e-Iqbal's Doraji area. Ejaz Hussain, age 55, was sitting at his shop in the Gulshan-e-Iqbal area when Spy Sahaba terrorists stormed into his shop and opened fire, killing Ejaz Hussain. Also in Karachi, Spy Sahaba shot and martyred a Shia government employee in the Gulistane-Johar area of Karachi on Tuesday morning. Zahir Hussain had left his apartment on University Road for work at the National Database Registration Authority, NADRA, when the terrorist opened fire on him. The victim was 45 years old. In a separate incident, Spy Sahaba shot and injured a Shia doctor, Dr. Saghir Niwani, son of a Shia leader of Bakkar district, Asghar Niwani, near the shrine of Bibi Pak Damana in Lahore. He's in critical condition. Shia leaders have condemned the targeted attacks and demanded military action against the terrorists. Please also stay tuned to Velayat TV at 7 p.m. Pacific time for Salam Ya Hussein with Hujjatul Islam wal Muslimin Maulana Sayyid Zahirul Hasan Naqvi for the special 5-day live transmission from the holy shrine of Imam Hussein alayhi salam in Karbala, Iraq. And that brings us to the end of our bulletin today. If you'd like to contribute your community's news, you can email us at news@velayattv.org. You can also get the latest headlines and more by visiting our website, velayattv.org, or subscribe to and follow us on our YouTube and Facebook pages, Velayat TV USA. Many thanks for joining us. Till next time, I'm Abru Sabzwari. Fi amanillah.